Hey, 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 welcome back to The Good Part Is Women's History Month edition. So, without further ado, let's dive into the final installation of Black Women in History. The Good Part Is. Thank you so much for joining me. And right now, take a second and subscribe. Yes, you, right now. Let's dive right in. Latasha Morrison. Now, just an FYI, most of my information has been gathered from Latasha's website and other sites. Latasha Morrison is founder and CEO of Be the Bridge. Additionally, Latasha is the New York Times bestselling author of Be the Bridge book. She is a speaker, a trainer, a coach, and a racial reconciler. Latasha founded Be the Bridge in 2016 to encourage racial reconciliation among all ethnicities, to promote racial unity in America, and to equip others to do the same. Be the Bridge is a multi-generational racial literacy organization that's committed to inspiring and equipping individuals to address systemic injustice and racial brokenness. Because Be the Bridge cannot solve every problem, they seek to identify and partner with other organizations that move people and culture toward racial equity, healing, and reconciliation. The vision is that people and organizations are aware and respond to the racial brokenness and systemic injustice in our world. That we're no longer conditioned by a racialized society, but are grounded in truth, that all are equipped to flourish. And Latasha helps to change the conversation surrounding race and racial equity and inclusion, and she trains others to have a new lens and gain a different perspective. She wants to see reproduction, meaning that those who learn from her will not remain stagnant, but instead they'll start pulling other people into the conversation with empathy and grace. Latasha guides leaders and organizations to cultural competency through dynamic presentations, conscious raising workshops, and one-on-one coaching. Now, how the organization works. The organization does the following. They inspire. They inspire people to have a distinctive and transformative response to racial division and to be present and intentional toward racial reconciliation. They equip. They equip bridge builders toward fostering and developing the vision, skills, and heart for racial healing. They partner. They partner with existing organizations who have a heart for racial justice, maybe for Rachel's too, but for racial justice, restoration, and reconciliation. They've had various and deep and detailed engagement in the Atlanta area. The last summer, they received a grant from the Summer of Healing. The vision of the project was for them to provide staff training and collaborate with the Peace Preparatory Academy in Atlanta. Both Be the Bridge and the Peace Prep Academy are devoted to a vision of providing spaces and places of transformation and humans flourishing all over for all people. The aim was to personally and professionally develop the staff at Peace Preparatory Academy, which is a Christian school committed to educating and providing support for the whole child, the whole family, and the whole community so that they are able to respond to injustice within their community in a unique way that their students and families need. Additionally, they provide resources and training. Be the Bridge training, Foundations Bridge Building for White People, Be the Bridge Academy. They're all online learning in their online learning platform that inspires, equips, and partners with people and organizations through the training and programs and webinars and courses using Be the Bridge content and resources from reputable thought leaders and institutions. They also have a Be the Bridge book. They have discussion guides and podcasts, and they even have a blog. Just about 4 or 5 days ago, I went to Latasha's Instagram page just to check her out a little more in depth. And Latasha had posted the following message on her Instagram. She said, over the past year, there's been a sense of disengagement and neglect toward the work of justice and righteousness related to lifting up the image in all human beings. However, now these are Latasha's words. However, I am hoping and praying for a revival within action and deed, one that transforms from the inside out, one in which God will move not only in the United States, but in the entire world, where churches will come together, people of all different ethnicities and denominations will come together with a stance for justice and righteousness, saying, we're going to lift up all those within the margins of society, the oppressed, the widow, the orphan, all of those who seek refuge. So let's move forward and let's move toward this revival together. Let's continue to preach the gospel and work diligently toward justice and righteousness. Let's continue to pursue the word and lift up those within the margins of society. I was so excited when I read this because God is a God of justice, and we don't have to put down our faith or our religions to want justice, because that is God. He's about justice and righteousness and love and peace, but he's also a God of war. He's all these things. So if you are interested in Be the Bridge organization, please, please, please visit their website at www.bethebridge.com. Again, that's www.bethebridge.com. And if you'd like to follow Latasha Morrison on her specific Instagram page, please follow her at www.instagram.com/Latasha Morrison. That's LATASHA MORRRISON. Thank you, Latasha, for marrying your faith with a movement by creating Be the Bridge to help us all live peaceably and equally in this earth. We salute and celebrate you, Latasha Morrison. Thank you. Next up, this week in health, the good part is... In health, Byllye Avery, while attending conference at Spelman College in 1983, Byllye decided to create the National Black Women's Health Project. This would be the first and only national nonprofit solely dedicated to achieving health equity for Black women in America. Byllye believes that all Black women and girls should enjoy optimal health and well-being in a socially and just society. And in 1995, the board realized the opportunity to become better positioned to address the massive challenges of racial and gender-based health disparities affecting Black women. So a decision was made to establish a national presence in the nation's capital and relocate to Washington, D.C. With a broadened structure of national and local affiliated organizations and a change in the name to Black Women's Health Imperative in 2002, the Imperative instituted aggressive national programs in health, policy, education, research, knowledge, and leadership, and development and communications to save and extend the lives of Black women. Currently, the organization continues to be dedicated to promoting physical, mental, and spiritual health and well-being for the nation's 19.5 million African American women and girls. Their mission is to lead the effort to solve the most pressing health issues that affect Black women and girls in the U.S. Through investments in evidence-based strategies, they deliver bold new programs and advocate health-promoting policies. BWHI currently has a lot of signature programs, such as the following. Now, it's a lot, so get prepared. Prediabetes and type 2 diabetes does not have to be your destiny. Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life. It's a program powered by the Black Women's Health Imperative that has helped people not only to shed pounds, but also avoid prediabetes and type 2 diabetes and heart disease and many other chronic conditions. Next up, the Black Women's Health Imperative Fair Work Initiative. BWHI, FWI, I know that's a lot of letters, y'all. Well, it was created to help ensure a fair workplace for all. Next, My Sister's Keeper, MSK. It's an advocacy and leadership building initiative for women on historically black college and university campuses. Next, On Our Own Terms, and it's an informed network of organizations and experts who are focused on the prevention of HIV. 4, By and About Black Women, as well as the care and treatment of women living with HIV. Positive Period. That's another program that works with the community partners to distribute menstrual products in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Baltimore, Maryland, Darlington, South Carolina, Montgomery, Alabama. Isn't that great, y'all? Great. Nourish, and that's an acronym which stands for New Opportunity to Uncover Our Resources, Intuition, Spirit, and Healing. Nourish is the Black Women's Health Imperatives doula training program that provides a 7-part intensive series with facilitators to gain knowledge and skills to support the needs of new birthing families, save lives, become community doula leaders, and facilitate self-nurturing and healing. Another one of their programs is called Reproductive Justice, and it advocates for reproductive health, rights, and justice for Black women to ensure complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease, but in all matters relating to the reproductive system. Are you tired yet? I know they offer a lot, but I'm not finished yet. Rare Disease Diversity Coalition. 1 million, one season. Reclaim Your Wellness campaign, where celebrities and media personalities, policymakers, doctors, faith leaders, and community stakeholders all gathered for a private roundtable to discuss the issue of uterine fibroids. This condition will affect 80% of Black women in the U.S. I'm one of the 80%. In my 30s, I had a hysterectomy because I had cantaloupe-size fibroids, and I was having so many complications. So this is really, really, really amazing to me personally because I did deal with this issue. And Black women in the U.S. Are affected greatly, as you can see, by this issue. The initiative asks that you join them in their new initiative, and it's called Unmuting Fibroids. I'm not finished, y'all. Project Teach. That's an acronym for Trained Empowered Advocates for Community Health. It engages Black women through education and outreach to participate and effectively engage with researchers and clinicians to increase participation of Black women in cancer-focused clinical trials. Oh, not done yet. All of Us research program. It's a large research program, and the goal is to help researchers understand more about why people get sick or why they stay healthy. And additionally, BWHI also focuses on policy development and offers several lifestyle coach training and various publications. There are so many ways for you to get involved by supporting, adding donations, giving your donations, fundraising, and partnering with BWHI. If you would like to support, I know that was a mouthful, y'all, but if you'd like to support BWHI, follow on their social media platforms on Instagram at www.instagram.com BLK Women's Health. That's BLK WOMENSHEALTH. That's on Instagram. Find more information also on YouTube at Black Women's Health Imperative. Again, that's on YouTube, and search Black Women's Health Imperative. So much information is out there. I hope I didn't overwhelm you, but I really wanted to give you a taste of all that they're doing. Thank you, Byllye Avery, for Black Women's Health Imperative. And last but not least, the good part in fashion is... In fashion, Lindsay Peoples Wagner. Lindsay can also be found as Lindsay Peoples. In an article written with E! News, Lindsay People Wagner stated, I honestly didn't think it was possible, so it wasn't a thought that crossed my mind. But I definitely really loved fashion. I always had pictures up on my wall, and I would just sit and read magazines for hours. And I would make my mom take me to, well, there was an Ebony Fashion Fair show that they used to do that would tour around the country. And that was the closest fashion show that I could go to in Wisconsin. Still, the dream seemed figuratively and literally out of reach. It felt very far off, both in just, I think, how elitist the industry is, but also just far in actual practical terminology of how I would actually get to work in fashion because I didn't grow up around anyone who did anything remotely creative. While in college, one of my teachers found an internship listing, and I remember she told me to apply, and I was like, well, I'm not going to get this internship. I've only just worked in a clothing store, but I was obsessed, and that was my foot in the door. Well, I am honoring Lindsay for fashion, right? So can you guess why? Well, she got the job as an intern at Teen Vogue, where she cleaned huge closets filled with the season's latest trends, and she was an intern for a while. But then in August 2018, she received a job as a fashion market editor at The Cut. Lindsay published the standout piece, Everywhere and Nowhere, What It's Really Like to Be Black and Work in Fashion. Well, this article changed her life and caused her to reevaluate and expand her work. The article was critically acclaimed and widely shared for New York Magazine. Well, less than 2 months later, in October 2018, Lindsay became editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue. This would make her the youngest and the third African-American editor-in-chief. Lindsay covered stories from political to inclusion and health to fashion and culture. And additionally, she's written for O Magazine and Style.com. Well, in 2020, not only did Lindsay become an author, but she was named Forbes 30 Under 30. And she joined forces with public relations specialist Sandrine Charles to start the Black in Fashion Council, which is dedicated to holding the fashion industry accountable for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the industry. By organizing a resilient group of editors, models, stylists, media executives, assistants, freelance creatives, and industry stakeholders, Lindsay aimed to build a new foundation for inclusivity. For this change to occur, Lindsay says that non-Black brands and publications and people of influence must carefully examine the roles they've played in either helping or hurting Black people who work in these spaces. Lindsay states that as an industry, we cannot continue to claim that we're progressive if we're not working to force diversity and inclusion in corporate structures while rectifying systemically racist policies that have permeated our industry for hundreds of years. Lindsay envisions workforces where Black people are represented and amplified at every level, holding jobs in both C-suite and junior level positions, and can work alongside allies to create diverse spaces that directly reflect what the world actually looks like at large. Lindsay desires to encourage people in the industry to rise to the occasion, not just be called to ensure sustained long-term change. The Black in Fashion Council? Well, it's partnered with the Human Rights Campaign on a corporate equity index as a way to hold companies and powerful individuals accountable in creating equitable spaces for Black people and marginalized communities. Over 70 companies, 70 y'all, over 70 companies have partnered with Black in Fashion Council, and this includes Calvin Klein and L'Oreal. In 2021, Lindsay Wagner joined The Cut as its editor-in-chief. Lindsay continues to lead the efforts of diversity, equity, and inclusion within the fashion industry. You can join the efforts to advance Lindsay's mission at www.blackinfashioncouncil.com. Again, that's www.blackinfashioncouncil.com. Lindsay has a wealth of knowledge. And if you'd like to read a fantastic article where she covers everything from changing jobs to how to apply for jobs to the need for salary transparency to some really beneficial business advice, please read the E-Online article at www.online.com/news and look up Lindsay Peoples. I'll put the link in the comments below. This was such an amazing article. And if you'd like to follow Lindsay specifically, you can follow her on Instagram at L for Lindsay, R Peoples. Again, that's L-R Peoples, Peoples. Lindsay, thank you for your heroic efforts and all of your work in fashion, but not just fashion. Not only are you helping to expose and reveal different fashion trends in your articles, but you're also exposing trends in racial equity and or racial division. So we appreciate and honor you at The Good Part Is. Well, everyone, I thank you so much. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you know anyone who's doing amazing things and giving us what the good part is in culture, health, or fashion, please, please, please put their names in the comments. I would love to honor them at an upcoming show. And no, it won't be all about just Black people, but I wanted to carve this month out to start there. And look forward to next month, where we will be highlighting so many extraordinary people who are giving their input and sharing what the good part is in their neck of the woods. I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Michelle with Out of My Shell, the voice. And I thank you for watching The Good Part Is. Bye, y'all. Bye. Oh, don't forget, remember, if you want to see more good, you go and be more good. That's it. That's all. Bye, y'all. Bye.